September 23rd, live on the Zone, Misfits X Series 009. We've got Andrea Jane Bunker and Lil Bellsy. How are you ladies doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Really good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I got my prime. I'm all good. How about
Yeah,
yourself,
oh my God, you've
Bellsy?
got a full dash back
Yeah,
there.
100%, my guy.
Jeez.
100%. How you doing, Lil Bellsy?
Yeah, I'm amazing. I'm a bit tired at the moment. There's a bit of a time difference here, so it's like 11 o'clock at night. But I'm good. I'm good.
100%, 100%. Okay, so Misfits 009, September 23rd. You guys are facing off, right? The last time AJ Bunker was in the ring, it was a narrow defeat to Astrid Webb. Now she's coming up against Lil Bellsy, who, of course, had an impressive performance against Kimchi on Misfits 007. Um, AJ, I want to go to you for this one. How
Mhm.
how do you feel about Lil Bellsy as an opponent?
Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Lil Bellsy is gonna be my hardest opponent today. Um, and yeah, she's gonna be the biggest challenge. Yeah, obviously with my last fight, I had to cut 5 kg. So I'm glad I'm not having to do a weight cut this time round. But yeah, I think she's a great opponent. She's gonna be my toughest opponent. Yeah, I've obviously come off a loss and an injury, and she's come off a win. So yeah, she's a good she's a big challenge. She's the toughest opponent I've had so far. But yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm
So
just gonna yeah.
would you rate her above the likes of Elbrook, who of course you faced on Kingpin, the likes of Astrid?
So the reason I say she's my toughest opponent, yeah, is because with Elbrook, I think Elbrook is actually levels, like she is levels. But when I fought Elbrook, it was her first fight, so it was both of our first fights. So I wouldn't count that as when Elbrook was at her best. Whereas now, oh my God, yeah, of course, Elbrook is elite. But in terms of when I took on Elbrook, it was her first fight, and with Astrid, yeah, obviously with that, I thought I didn't know what to expect with Astrid. I actually underestimated her a little bit. But as I said, I had a weight cut and I injured my hand in the first round of that fight. So whereas Bellsy, she's taller, she's going to be heavier than me, and she's had 2 wins. So yeah, whereas Astrid only had that really quick fight with Keely beforehand, so it wasn't really much to go off. So just with Bellsy's record, high weight advantage, but height and weight advantage. Yeah, she's definitely gonna be my toughest opponent. Yeah.
What about yourself, Lil Bellsy? How do you see Andrea Jane Bunker as an opponent?
Yeah, look, I don't know too much about her, but I've watched a few of her fights. Look, I give her credit, where credit is due, and just to obviously get into the ring. It takes courage, for us women to be able to do that. So I do take my hat off to her to obviously not only accept this challenge and face myself, but yeah, she doesn't have to do a weight cut, which is amazing. And there's no rehydration clause. So I do know that she had to do one of those as well. So I obviously know I am a little bit heavier than her naturally, and have a little bit of a height advantage as well. But there's obviously levels to this as well. So I've obviously been training for quite some time. I've had an 8-week camp, so I'm very strong. My power is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really good fight. And hopefully, yeah, obviously AJ brings her A game, and yeah, I know that we're going to put on something special for the fans. So I have no doubt about it.
Bellsy, compared to your last two opponents, where would you place AJ Bunker?
I think that's really hard to obviously even place her, because obviously I haven't fought her yet. But in that case, she should have well and truly bet Astrid. And if there was a rematch, I would give her credit, where it's true again, because I think that she would obviously beat Astrid. But I guess, we'll just see what the 23rd brings. But I just feel that, there's levels to boxing. And I just feel that she may not be at that level that I'm at, which is totally fine. We've all got room to grow. But yeah, I feel like that I'm going to have that advantage, even though that I'm probably the underdog being from Australia, and it's obviously in her backyard.
100%, my guy. AJ, I want to ask you this question. When it comes to Lil Bellsy, what do you think is going to be the toughest challenge on the night?
The toughest challenge will be getting like, obviously she's rangy, she's taller than me, so it's we know she likes to use her jabs. Like, that's gonna be the toughest thing, is getting, you know. So yeah, it's being able to handle her power and handle, like, look, I'm gonna hand it to her. She did well in her last fight, and she's a very calculated fighter. So, you know, she's an all-around good fighter. So, you know, I'm just gonna be ready for everything. But as we saw in her last fight, she likes to use that jab. So, you know, it's yeah, she's got the attributes of being a longer fighter and taller fighter. So that's what I've got to be like. You know, I'm just gonna be ready for everything. Basically.
What weaknesses do you see in her game?
Weaknesses. I don't know. It's quite a hard one, because obviously I don't know. I don't know. I've not really been. Yeah. Weaknesses. Perhaps. Sorry, I didn't really think of this one. Weaknesses. I'd say maybe once like Kimchi put the pressure on her a little bit, I think that, like, she obviously like turned her back. And yeah, I think that's maybe one of them. But as I said, I think she stayed really composed, and like she handled herself well in her last fight. So yeah, I think she's an all-round like good fighter, to be honest. I think she's a really good challenge. I'm excited for it. Obviously, Astrid didn't want this fight. You know, that's one thing I will say, is that I will show up and I will show up. And, you know, Mams will ring me and he'll say, this is it, or this is it. And I'll always say yes. I'm not someone who's going to make fake drama to have shit, easy fights. She is going to be a tough opponent, but I've got heart, and you guys see that. Who else takes on Elle Brooke with 2 weeks' notice? Who else does a 5 kg weight cut to drop weight to fight, you know, someone and have no energy for a fight? You know, I've always had things against me. Again, I'm against the taller, heavier fighter. But one thing you can't train for is heart and fire, and that's why I call myself Filipino Fire, because you can't train for that, and that's what I will show in the ring, and I'll show up. So, yeah.
100%, my guy. Bellsy, now, did you watch AJ Bunker's last fight, Misfits 05 against Astrid?
Yeah, look, I obviously had little snippets of it, and you know, I can sit here and obviously nitpick at things that I can take away with it as to what she, you know, needs to improve on, and what that obviously I can take advantage of. But, you know, I know that she has a new coach now, so things could be a little bit different. And, you know, we can all have a game plan, but until you get hit in the face, then that game plan goes out the window. So, you know, I guess for her, you know, she dropped her hands a bit, and once she's a bit under pressure, like, her hands seem to just go, like, she starts throwing haymakers. So obviously for me, like, I can utilize that. But, you know, for me, like, it's my jab. It's everything. The jab is everything. So, yeah, but, you know, we can't determine what's going to obviously happen on the night. We'll just see how it pans out. But I'm really excited for it. And I'm so grateful that she's taken on this fight, because it's not going to be easy. But yeah, I think the fans are going to really like this.
Now, Bellsy, we just had AJ Bunker say, you know, when you face pressure, that's not the best thing for you. How would you deal with her pressure?
No, look, to be honest, you know, obviously that fight was obviously pretty big for me, being in such a big crowd, you know, all the way from Australia as well. So that was my first ever, I guess, you know, really big fight. So I've learned a lot from that. And yeah, I feel like no matter what kind of game she's going to bring, that I think that, yeah, I'm really going to be on top of it. So she can bring whatever she wants, but I think, you know, I'll be able to outclass her.
100%. You got to be like KSI, man. KSI, you know, he's got power. He's got everything, man. He's got everything. AJ, I wanted to ask you. Now, we've seen a lot of pound for pound female influencer lists, right? Can I have your top 5?
Top 5. Yeah, Julie Pocker, Michelle Khari, Elbrook. Can't remember everybody. Bloody hell. Whitney Johns is really good. I think she looks sick in that Kingpin fight. And what's her name? Andrea Botez.
Yeah, of
course. She looked good against Michelle Khari. That was a really good female fight.
Yeah. AJ, I wanted to ask you, if you overcome Lil Bellsy, who is next? Okay, are we gonna get the Astrid rematch? Is it Elbrook this time?
No, I want the Astrid rematch. I want that. I want my redemption.
Yes, 100%. Get her.
That's it. Like, the thing is, like, I want that rematch. And as I said, I don't want someone tampering with her. Coach tampered with my raps beforehand. 3 minutes before walkout, my raps were not done correctly. And her coach, I know he was trying to help, but he cut my raps. You know, this should not be happening 3 minutes before walkout. So I was stressed with that. And as we saw, my hand broke in the first round, you know, and I carried on. My body was fighting against it, but my mind was like, you can't quit now. But yeah, and even by the end of that fight, trying to walk back up that ramp, I was so close to passing out. And I just got to make it past the state backstage and then literally collapse. So, you know, I want that rematch and I want it just everything to be like, you know, fair. But yeah, I want that redemption. So she just wants to have easy fights. So, you know, I know Bellsy called her out, and look, I lost to Astrid. Yeah, I'm taking the Bellsy fight. So yeah, I think that would be my first point of action. You know, I want to get this belt and then I want to come for the second belt and be 2-time champ. Why not?
Yeah, that's what we like. Champ like KSI. KSI is number 1. I know I get a lot of stuff online about that, but yeah. I guess what I wanted to ask next is, Bellsy, how do you see this fight going? Do you see it going to a decision? Are you looking to stop AJ before we go to the decision?
Yeah, to be honest, obviously my last 2 fights have been decisions. So this one, you know, hopefully I can get a stoppage. But at the same time, you know, I really have to focus on obviously my jab and you know, she's obviously going to feel my power. I'm a little bit bigger than her, obviously naturally. So, and just the knowledge that I have in the ring and what I've learned over the last couple of fights. So I feel like, yeah, obviously I'm really going to focus on that before just trying to obviously get a knockout. But yeah, I feel like that I can stop her. So.
Okay, AJ, she thinks she can stop you. What's your response to that?
Well, what I can say to that is, as I said, like, it's going to take, you know, I've got heart, I've got fire. It's going to take a whole lot to stop me. Like, as I said, I fought Astrid with a broken hand. It's pretty much my whole body was fighting against me in that fight, and I still showed up. Even though my body was like, I want to pass out, I can't do this. I did it, and actually it takes a lot. It takes a lot. I've got a lot of heart. I've got a lot of fire, and it takes a lot to take me down. I would rather die than quit, you know what I mean? And so yeah, no, I respect that. I think it's gonna be a good fight, because you know, one thing I'd say is, like, the women, we go at it, you know, and I want this to be an entertaining fight for the fans and for everyone out there. So yeah, like, bring it on. So yeah, I like it, bring it on.
What's your final prediction, AJ?
My final prediction is, even though I'm the underdog and I've got the attributes against me, is I'm working hard and I'm going to get that win. No matter what way it is, I'm going to get that dub. I'm going to bring that title home. So yeah, prediction is me winning.
100% winning like KSI. Okay. Ladies, do we have any final words to each other before we end?
No, just let the best woman win. That's it. I've got nothing against Bellsy. As I said, I will just take on any fight that Mams brings me up and says. I will take the challenge on. And, you know, I had a long time out with that injury. So, you know, it's but yeah, as I said, let the best woman win, and let's get it. Let's put on a good show.
100%, my guy. Bellsy?
Yeah, I think, you know, to be honest with you, I think AJ and I are just going to prove and show everyone what women influencer boxing is all about. So To be honest with you, for both of us to get in the ring is just an achievement on its own. So let's get it, girl. We can show them how to bring fireworks. I've got nothing against AJ. So, you know, may the best woman win.
Mhm.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. You can watch this fight live on DAZN, Misfits X Series 009. Take care, guys.